Yo, what's happening, guys? Hey, I feel like before I watch any more NASCAR videos, I need to actually understand the track, understand a little bit of some of the principles behind NASCAR. So today we're gonna go check out this video. It's called Every NASCAR Track Explained in 15 minutes. I'm gonna try not to talk too much so that the video don't get too long, so bear with me. We're just gonna try to learn this together, all right?
NASCAR drivers just go around in circles, is what I would say if I wasn't a NASCAR fan.
Go in a circle!
That's what I said at the beginning.
Go in a circle!
Because technically, most of these tracks are ovals. Some are shaped like a paperclip, some take on the shape of a rectangle, and occasionally there's road courses, which means they have to make a right turn. Pretty scary, unless you're this guy.
It's Shane Van Gisbergen.
But in this video, I'm gonna explain every type of NASCAR track
straight
on
to the wall.
schedule.
Oh,
and first
okay.
up, you have Daytona.
Okay, we definitely have to find some racetrack, well, with the corners to react to, because from what I've just seen here,
Video, I'm gonna
just
explain
this part
every
right
type of
here,
NASCAR
where they're all sent it into the wall, it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing. We're gonna find it.
track on the schedule. And first
look at
up,
the
you have
pineapple.
Daytona. It's also
All right,
first on the
Daytona.
NASCAR schedule
go.
each season. Daytona is a 2.5-mile super speedway with highly banked turns so that drivers can keep it full throttle all the way around the course. And everyone seems to know Daytona because it hosts the Daytona 500.
We've seen
and
a few
this
of
is a
that.
race that nearly anyone can win. I'm talking like Cody Ware, who would
That's literally what I said when I reacted to this. Anyone can win. You can be right at the back and still win because somebody's gonna take out the whole pack in front of you. Crazy, crazy.
typically be in dead last. Daytona is and has always been an unpredictable track. Champions like Tony Stewart and Kyle Busch were never able to get a Daytona 500 win in 20 years of trying, and Dale Earnhardt took exactly 20 tries before he won. And this man was talented at superspeedway races too. This is also the track where Juan Pablo Montoya hit the jet dryer in turn 3, but that's not the craziest thing that has ever happened, because blowovers are very common here. Just ask Austin Dillon or even Ryan Preece.
Ooh.
Next, there's Atlanta Motor Speedway. You know what? Actually, it's called Echo Park Speedway, but no one calls it that. Atlanta is 1.5 miles and technically classified as a super speedway. Previously, it was an intermediate track, but the H track surface created heavy tire falloff. It's 1 mile shorter than Daytona, but races somewhat similar. It's been putting on some of the best NASCAR races for years now, and I think most fans see the Atlanta repave as an overall good change. In 2024, it had this 3-wide photo finish reminiscent of this scene from Cars. And next, there's Martinsville. When I was a kid, I associated the name of this track with Mark Martin. I thought he owned it or something. But Martinsville is one of the smallest tracks on the schedule, coming in at just 0.525 miles long, and it's shaped like a paperclip. For the longest time, the inside lane was always preferred. In order to make passes, you pretty much had to bump cars out of the way. Generally, this was acceptable, but sometimes it led to conflict. It's one of the few tracks that have 2 races on the NASCAR schedule, and everyone mentions the hot dog stand at this track too. It could be that the hot dogs are actually good, but I think it might just be because they're only $2, which is a solid deal for a sports event. If you're a casual NASCAR fan, you're probably familiar with this track because it's the place where Ross Chastain pulled off his viral wall ride move. Martinsville is also the track where Kufandi is sponsoring Christopher Bell in the number 20 with this green and orange paint scheme in just 2 months. Let me be honest when I tell you there's not much to say about Circuit of the Americas. I mean, NASCAR's only been racing there for 5 years. It's a 3.4 mile road course originally built for F1. It does have this 250-foot tower that you can go up and observe races from, and in NASCAR's first race here, they ran it under wet weather and used rain tires. Surely nothing could go wrong with a new track.
Okay, we gotta watch
Next
this.
is one of my favorite tracks, Phoenix Raceway. It's a 1 mile short track. I mean, I wouldn't call it a short track though. It's sort of a hybrid between a short and intermediate. That makes it unique in itself, but so does the shape. And much like the Atlanta situation, Phoenix was renamed to Jeff Gordon Raceway for one race in 2015, and then renamed to ISM Raceway when they reconfigured it. That's right, in 2018, they renovated this track and changed it a lot. It used to have grass in the infield. That was removed, then they tore down the front stretch grandstands, moved the start-finish line to the other side of the track, and reconfigured pit road. This leveled up the restarts here, and now they're just pure chaos with drivers being able to cut the dog leg. And all of these changes made a great case for Phoenix to host NASCAR's championship race. Las Vegas is a 1.5 mile intermediate. There are a lot of tracks.
Wait, sorry, that overtake, they were, I mean,
this
not
leveled
overtake.
up the
This right here
starts
looks
here, and now they're
absolutely insane because I would expect them to be here on this side, But then just coming straight down from here, I don't know the rules, but that's crazy.
Just pure chaos with drivers being able to cut the dog leg. And all of these changes made a great case for Phoenix to host NASCAR's championship race. Las Vegas is a 1.5 mile intermediate. There are a lot of tracks out there that share its same size and shape, so tracks like this were given the name cookie cutter tracks, since they seem to be copy and pasted often. The garage area is pretty unique in the sense that it's highly accessible to fans. The walls here are painted yellow, I assume for Pennzoil, who is often the race sponsor. Aside from that, there's a 4-wide drag strip and a dirt track near turn 4. I'm not really sure what else there is to say about this track. I feel like nothing crazy ever happens here. So let's go to Homestead. Homestead is a fan favorite track on the NASCAR schedule. It has multi-groove racing, so no matter if you're hugging the white line in the corners or gliding along the outside wall, there is a lane for you. It used to be the season finale from 2002 to 2019, and when it switched to Phoenix, everyone started begging for NASCAR to switch it back. They got their wish because in 2026, it will become the championship race once again. It has high banking now, but it used to be a very flat 1.5 mile intermediate. When I went here one time in 2019, I realized that this track is located in the very southeast corner of the United States. I looked at it on Google Maps and noticed that there was literally nothing beyond it. Like, this thing is actually on the edge of the map. Darlington is also one of the most unique tracks NASCAR visits. It's 1.36 miles and technically an intermediate. The thing is, at most tracks, drivers will race on the innermost line because it's the shortest and quickest way around. At Darlington, the highest 2 lanes have the most amount of banking, so you can carry more speed through the corners, making it fastest right up against the wall. For this reason, it's pretty hard to make passes, and drivers who push too hard are bound to hit the wall. And yes, this is very common. Turns 3 and 4 are shaped a little bit tighter than 1 and 2 because of this pond outside the track. Similar to Phoenix, the track's front stretch used to be on the other side of the track, and the same goes for pit lane. Something cool NASCAR does here is that they run a throwback race, where a bunch of NASCAR drivers will run a special throwback paint scheme. And some of these have slapped over the years. It's Bristol, baby. This is the shortest track in NASCAR in terms of lap time, and it's classified as a high-banked half-mile short track. It's so small that pit road has to extend to both straightaways. Bristol is shaped like a coliseum with the grandstands wrapping around the track completely. It has a giant floating jumbotron in the middle, and fun fact, this is technically the track from the opening scene in the Cars movie. It's also hosted 1 college football game and 1 Major League Baseball game, and NASCAR experimented with covering the track in dirt and having dirt races. Next is Talladega. It's a nearly identical to Daytona with the same size and same shape. The main difference is that the track is slightly wider. If this place sounds familiar, it's because it's the track from Talladega Nights. From the movie, Can't believe they made it into a real thing. If you remember this scene of Ricky Bobby racing on foot to the start-finish line, it was actually reenacted a few years later by Carl Edwards, who wrecked out and attempted to finish the race on foot. With this being a 2.5 mile super speedway, races play out fairly similar to the ones at Daytona. Big pileups, blowovers, and photo finishes. And anyone can win here. Yes, even Cody Ware. All these reasons and the unpredictability are why fans love Talladega. Texas Motor Speedway brings us back to the cookie cutter tracks once again. Unlike some 1.5 mile tracks, Texas is not one where you can run the high line. It's considerably slower, and really if you run higher than the second lane, you're sandbagging. It has the biggest TV screen in the United States located on its backstretch. Apparently it's 218 feet wide and 125 feet tall. I got that off of Google, so if it's wrong, I'm sorry. I saw this video saying that they've played video games on the screen before, so Texas Motor Speedway, if you're watching, please let me play NASCAR 25 on the big screen. I don't live too far. But a track where you can run the high line is Kansas Speedway. It's another 1.5 mile track, with the main difference from Texas being the front stretch. In the infield, there's a road course layout which actually isn't used by NASCAR, and recently this track had NASCAR's closest cut finish of 1,000th of a second. In 2015, it hosted the SpongeBob SquarePants 400, where multiple drivers ran SpongeBob-themed paint schemes. Some notable moments from this track include Carl Edwards' dive bomb pass attempt on Jimmy Johnson, or Joey Logano wrecking Matt Kenseth, but that's really it. NASCAR used to race at North Wilkesboro from 1949 to 1996. It's a historical track that was once abandoned before being revived by Dale Jr. and Marcus Smith in 2022. At just 0.625 miles long, it classifies and races as a short track. It was the site for NASCAR's All-Star Race. In 2023, they raced on the original surface before deciding to repave it for 2024. My track comparison for Charlotte Motor Speedway is probably Texas. Visually, the shape is almost identical. Charlotte may be a little more narrow, but in the 2025 Coca-Cola 600, it put on a great show. Most NASCAR teams are located near Charlotte, North Carolina, so this is viewed as the home track.
The garage looks very nice though. It looks very clean.
Show. Most NASCAR
Look at that. Is that a garage or is that a showroom? I don't know.
Teams are located near Charlotte, North Carolina,
beautiful.
so this is viewed as the home track for most of the sport. It previously hosted the NASCAR All-Star Race from 1987 to 2019. In 2018, NASCAR started running the road course layout, and the track added AstroTurf to the Tri-Oval. Nashville calls itself a super speedway, but it definitely doesn't race like one. It's just 1.33 miles long and relatively low banked. The NASCAR Xfinity Series raced it a lot up until 2011, but then it returned to the NASCAR schedule with Cup races in 2021. You can make the case that Michigan is much closer to a super speedway than Nashville. There's not really another track like it in NASCAR. It's 2 miles long and shaped kind of like an egg. It's incredibly fast because NASCAR doesn't use restrictor plates, but you still have to lift for the corners. Jeff Gordon won the pole here in 2014 with an average speed of 206 miles per hour. My track comparison to this is Auto Club Speedway, which no longer exists. Victory Lane at this track is actually on the front stretch. Then there's Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, and to be completely honest, I'm just hoping I said that right. The NASCAR Cup Series raced here for the first time in 2025, and it was the first Cup race outside the US since 1998. The NASCAR configuration of this road course is 2.4 miles long, and F1 races the Mexico City GP here. Pocono may be NASCAR's most unique track. It has 3 turns and it's shaped like a triangle. Each corner is different from the last, giving it the nickname the Tricky Triangle. The front stretch is 3,740 feet long and 100 feet wide, so restarts are absolute chaos here. Drivers have a high top speed entering turn 1, which can lead to vicious collisions with the wall. The full track is 2.5 miles in length, and it's possible to make a pit stop here under green without getting lapped. The Chicago Street Course is not a fixed NASCAR track. It was on the streets of Chicago, similar to how the Las Vegas GP in F1 is run on the Vegas Strip. This race was held from 2023 to 2025, but is not on the 2026 schedule. Instead, NASCAR will be racing at a brand new road course in San Diego, and that track will partially be on an active military base. There's no telling if NASCAR will ever go back to the streets of Chicago again, but I know SVG would like to see it. We're keeping the road courses coming with Sonoma Raceway in California. This track is also referred to as Infineon Raceway or Sears Point Raceway. It's a 1.99 miles long depending on the layout, and turn 11 is a unique corner because it's a 180-degree turn that drivers have to take at about 40 miles an hour. That makes it one of the slowest corners in all of NASCAR. The track has a drag strip parallel to the front stretch that's used by NHRA, and IndyCar used to race here from 2005 to 2018. Dover Motor Speedway is in the second smallest United States, Delaware, so it's pretty on brand that Dover itself is one of the smaller racetracks. At just 1 mile long, the place is nicknamed the Monster Mile. It's a concrete track with high banking, there's a big elevation change as you enter and exit each corner, and overall it's pretty narrow, so occasionally you'll see huge pileups or even flips. Miles the Monster is the track mascot, and you can find a huge statue of him holding a car outside of the track. Indianapolis Motor Speedway hosts the 200-lap Indy 500 every year, and NASCAR's version of that is the Brickyard 400. The track is 2.5 miles long and shaped like a rectangle. Originally, it was made of bricks. When it was paved over, they left one strip of bricks by the start-finish line. Whenever a team wins the Indy 500 or Brickyard 400, they get to kiss the bricks as part of a tradition. Just be sure to avoid doing burnouts over them because that's pretty frowned upon. It has a narrow pit road but really long pit stalls, and in the infield, it actually has a road course configuration that NASCAR has used for 3 years. Iowa Speedway is exactly
that kissing the brakes is just nasty, man. Nasty. All the dirt, all the yeah.
Exactly 0.87 miles long and classified as a short track. It was mainly used by the Xfinity Series and IndyCar, but in 2024 the NASCAR Cup Series raced there for the very first time. Its most memorable moment was probably when Carl Edwards choked away a win by slamming into the back of Trevor Bayne. If I had to compare it to one NASCAR track out there, it would probably be Richmond Raceway, which is coming up shortly. Watkins Glen is one of the OG road courses in NASCAR.
There's been so many of these tracks. How many we got left? Oh my god. I don't think I can remember much of them now, but I might go back and watch this video again. My goodness gracious.
The layout they use is 2.5 miles long because they take the chicane called the bus stop and don't use the boot portion of the track. What's interesting about this road course is that drivers turn right in order to enter their pit stalls. Basically, the pit crews have to do mirrored pit stops, and it's the only track where fuel enters on the right side of the car. And now we're at Richmond Raceway. It's a 0.75 mile short track, so a little bit shorter than Iowa, but similar in shape. This track used to be surrounded by grandstands before the ones on the backstretch were torn down. And Richmond Richmond has a strange history of incidents. First, there was the Spingate incident, which is what it was most famous for. Clint Boyer spun out on purpose to help his teammate make the chase. Then in 2014, a fan climbed up on the catch fence and forced NASCAR
Was he having a shower on top of the thing there?
to make the chase. Then in 2014, a fan
Oh, I thought he had leather on his head like he was soaping up.
climbed up on the catch fence and forced NASCAR to throw a caution. And in 2024, we had the Austin Dillon incident. He wrecked 2 drivers on the last lap to win, and NASCAR stepped in and said that the win wouldn't qualify him to make the NASCAR playoffs. Gateway is 1.25 miles long. It feels like a short track, but it's shaped more like a mini Darlington. It's basically an intermediate track with long corners and low banking, and it used to have this weird backstretch wall that wasn't fully closed off. One notable moment from this track was the battle Carl Edwards and Brad Keselowski had for the win in 2010. The official sponsor name of the track is Worldwide Technology Raceway, but again, no one calls it that. New Hampshire Motor Speedway is nicknamed the Magic Mile. With that being said, yes, it's 1 mile long, and the winner of the race gets a whole lobster. This track also has long and flat corners, with the second lane being the fastest because it has more banking than lane number 1. I would compare it to Old Homestead before they added banking to that track. It's one of a few NASCAR ovals where they have raced in the rain before. This track, like many, has an infield road course, but it's not used by NASCAR. And last is Bowman Gray. This track is absolute chaos. There's no shortage of bump and runs, stack ups, and sometimes fights. It's a very popular short track at the site of an old football field, making it just a 1/4 mile long. Starting in 20.
It's like I just knew. I saw it. I'm like, this looks like a football pitch, like right here. Well, that makes sense. It's very small.
2025, NASCAR has raced there to kick off their season with a non-points paying race called the Clash at Bowman Gray. So that was every track in NASCAR, or the Cup Series ones anyway. Let me know what your favorite.
Those Cup Series ones are there, so there's gonna be even more tracks. Okay, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Hey, W video, man. W video. I actually like that one. Learned a lot, forgot a lot already, but we'll relearn some stuff again at some point. Yes, I'm excited to go look into some road races, because those, well, not road races, but like, you know, the track races with the fence and things of that nature, they're gonna be crazy. All right, anyway, is it road courses they call it? It is road courses. Sorry, just my mind going crazy. See you in the next one. Take it easy. Goodbye. Peace.